Hey, welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drones and Entertainment. We've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about a company here in the U.S. that manufactures drones. At least one model that I know of, but we'll talk about that shortly. But let's get this show on the road. Some astrophysicists they use this guy's head as a model for one of Jupiter's moons. Yeah, Callisto, because it's full of grooves and canyons. So let's welcome all the way from the land down under. It's Dominic. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
And good evening to everybody in the chat.
Good evening. And how's the weather down there?
We're slowly drifting into autumn or fall, as you call it.
Yep. Yeah, today is the first day of spring, or yesterday was.
Yep.
Here in the U.S.
It's the first official day of autumn here.
Right. Good. And we've got some 80-degree weather heading our way early this or sometime in the next week, which is good because I'm itching to go fishing. So, yep. So that's what's going on. Tesla's catching on fire, and
we got
Minnesota governor who says he could kick any MAGA guy's ass. Yeah, whatever. And he wants tampons in boys' room. Yeah, there you go. But enough about politics. Let's
that's for another time.
So somebody's here. Oh, let's welcome all the way from Port St. Lucie. His pants are always dry, but he never cries. Let's welcome Bill Ronayne.
My pants are always... Hi, Art. Hi,
hey,
Dominic.
How you doing?
Good evening.
My pants are always dry. I cry all the time. What are you talking about?
You sound a little low. Move your microphone.
You could do with a bit of volume.
Yeah. We don't want to have another incident like on Dono's show the other night.
What happened on Dono's show?
Yeah, well, evidently got in with Dusty over at East Coast Thrills because I guess Dusty was giving him... Was he giving him shit about his...
No, he just made a comment about either he couldn't hear his guest or the guest's volume was a little low.
So Dono said, "You're banned. You're
Really?"
I'm like, what?
Because you said the guest volume was low?
Yeah. I couldn't see what the chat was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was rude or not.
Oh, I don't know.
He sounds like he has a bipolar disorder because he gets really touchy. And even Lon told us on the show about some instances where he just said something and Ken just went off on him and just started dropping F-bombs on him. I'm like, okay. That sounds like somebody with a...
Yeah, I don't want to continue this conversation.
Yeah, well, just
all right.
We talk about someone that can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
Nah.
Strike that. Erase that.
Yeah, nah. You heard about that Artie guy, right? What a douche.
Yeah, what a jerk I am. I'm such a douchebag.
Am I still low, by the way?
A tad bit. Yes.
All right, let me take a look. Fuck.
Did you have a Windows update again?
No.
Maybe that's what.
No.
No?
No.
All right, while you're doing that, let's say hello.
Doing what? How about that? It's fixed already.
Getting better, yeah, we're improving.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is that loud enough?
Yeah, I
Yes.
reckon that's good enough.
Hmm.
I could bring it up higher.
No. You're good. You're good. Just,
Anyway.
yeah, you're banned. Anyway.
Yeah, I hope that those idiots that are costing people their livelihoods, attacking defenseless Tesla, cars and what a
Right.
bunch of jerk offs. Honest to God,
Yeah.
like that's got anything to do with anything. They just want an excuse to be violent, and let's hope they all go to jail.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
They could actually be tried as terrorists.
Yep.
They're calling
That's
it
true.
domestic terrorism, and then
Hmm.
they're
Definitely.
doing this for political reasons. That sounds like terrorism to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Maybe send them back. Oh, wait a minute.
I don't even I doubt it's even them.
Yeah. Mhm.
No, these are probably actual Americans that are doing this.
Yes. Yep. These
Yeah.
are. Yeah. Let's say hello to everybody.
That's
We got Brian, Waypoint, New England, Warren, the Cure Show, and we got Don. I have no alcohol in the house. Mudball, and we got Thomas Baker. Hello. Oh, Lee, Yellow Rose Drones. Welcome. We got Joe, Captain Joe Merca, USA Drone Flyer. Jody Drone Shots. And who else? Oh, we got this Dominic guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Northside Hawk. Yeah.
120,000. Which Tesla were you looking at, Lee?
Wow. The Cybertruck, or is it the
Even
Model
that
S?
doesn't, whatever.
Hmm.
Unless you're
Yeah,
looking
we
at the one that the president got.
Michael.
What do you call it? XS or XL or whatever the hell it is. The one that goes to 0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
I know that's expensive, but 120 seems high. Unless you were both going to get one.
That's
Oh.
about the price over here.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Almost makes you want to buy one, but I don't want an electric car.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want one either.
Yeah, but you're supporting Doge.
Yeah,
they're-
but I would buy one, but I don't like electric cars. But I would buy one to support them then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not supporting Doge. You're supporting Elon because it's got
Elon.
nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with Doge. That's the point. I don't even understand what they think they're going to accomplish.
Yeah.
Besides going to jail for 20 years, if not longer, because God forbid somebody gets hurt. Those
Right.
fucking freaking things when they burn and they explode. Oh my God.
Right.
They
Right.
could be say they're doing it at night. I heard somebody say, "Oh, they're doing it at night for some altruistic reason." No, they're doing it at night because there's nobody there and they can get away with it.
Hmm.
But what if they put security on there and they get hurt? I mean,
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Yep. Just thinking about that. So just before the show, I was talking with Dominic, and I turned in some cans. I had a couple trash bags full of aluminum cans, and I got.
oh, did you see Don got another grandchild, or did you already talk about that?
Oh no! Hey, congratulations, Don.
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah.
So-
Your progeny's just spitting them out like
Yeah.
chiclets,
Yeah.
like watermelon seeds.
Yeah. So I got my money back. I got $4.50. So
What?
when I got the dollars, and I'm like, oh wow, these feel like brand new bills or very new bills. And I looked at them. They're sequential. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 2021. It's a series. So Dominic found it, but can you find an error on this?
No, because you need to be bigger for that.
Oh yeah.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Oh, you figured
There
it
we
out.
go.
Look at you.
Who can find the error on this bill? There we go.
AOC isn't on it?
Notice anything different about the top border and the bottom border?
Well, because off center?
Yep. It's
See
a
that all the time.
misalignment.
Yeah, I see that all the time. I see a lot of money, though.
Ah, there we go. Oh, that's cool.
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now
so
Art's bigger than us. How about that?
these I probably got $40 right here. 40, yeah. So that makes them valuable. And I looked up on Google, and it turns out 2021 is a banner year for misaligned bills.
And they're worth money?
Yeah.
I mean, besides $1.
Yep. They're worth about $5 a piece.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Depending
wasn't
on
aware of that.
if I go put them on eBay and people bid them up, it might get more. Who knows? Because I've seen a couple on eBay that were sequential, but I've got 4 of them, so that makes it even more special. So, also, I found this quarter, and
Good for you. Good. Hold on.
Oh, good for you!
notice anything different about that quarter?
Yeah, it vibrates a lot.
Yeah.
It's dirty.
Oh, it's Washington's brown.
What's that?
Washington is brown.
Okay.
That's because, when we make quarters, and dimes and $50 and so forth, those coins are sandwiched, where you got copper in the middle and you got 2 other metals on the outside. Well, this one is it's an error because the middle section is close to the top of the coin. So that's worth some money. So
Okay.
probably worth $1. Who knows? So
Probably worth about who knows. Probably.
yeah, so I've been watching this guy. He's on Facebook and TikTok, and he's got a YouTube channel. He's a numismatist, and he talks about what coins are worth more money. And so that's how I learned about the dollar bills and the quarters. And you know what? There is a penny out there where on the back side, where normally it would say 1 cent, with the shield,
Yeah.
or the Lincoln Memorial. Well, instead, it's got the back of a dime imprinted in it. So that's another cool error. So now
So
this
that's
guy,
it's worth 11 cents.
yeah, probably. So it's got me to look through my change and what else can I find? Yeah. Huh. So, Bill, how's the weather down there in Florida?
Oh, it's cooler today. It was 60 something when I came home just now. 63. Yesterday it was 82.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Was
like
it
a box
windy
of
there?
chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. Huh?
Was it windy though?
I didn't think so.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because well, when I was down at South Florida Drone Meetup, I think it was the first one that was at Sebastian Inlet,
Right.
and yeah, I went fishing up there at Palm Bay at those ponds that are close to James or Jim's house.
That's the day I met you, by the way.
Yeah, yep.
Matter of fact.
And it was really windy that day and cool. Yeah. So I will show you this picture from.
Okay.
And it was
Hi, Brenda.
windy as heck for that first meetup. Tell you that.
Yeah, it was.
You're showing us all your text messages. What's going on?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah, there you go.
You should do that
Yeah.
before you pull it up, but whatever. What is that?
That is a puffer.
Oh, it is a puffer, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got spines on them. So it's one of those porcupine fish, but it has the curved spines on them.
And that's not normal, so this is worth money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Mm-hmm. So that was from my first time down in South Florida drone meetup. So, and also when I went fishing up there at Palm Bay, that's where I met Brad Alston. He showed up there, and boy, was it windy up there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we got Sunstar. Hey,
Brenda.
Brenda.
Brenda apparently has a new dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Now, what kind of dog did you get?
Wait, do we know if Brenda's coming to the meetup?
No, Brenda. I think she was talking about it, but Brenda, let us know if you're going to the meetup and tell us what kind of little doggy did you get. Uh-huh.
I need a conveyor belt with a microscope and an AI program to pick out the coins worth money because it's clearly too much trouble. You know, so then you'd spend a couple of $1,000s on equipment. Let's see how many coins. Better find a lot of coins.
Now, if you go over to TikTok, you can find all that shit over there for cheap. So, yeah, I wish I was going there. Maybe next year I'll go to South Florida drone meetup. Oh, she's in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Brenda's from she lives in Florida on the other side of the state.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
yep, puffer fish is edible, but yes, that's right. That's right. Because another YouTube channel that I follow is Darcizzle Offshore.
Mm.
She's the pretty blonde that goes fishing with her boyfriend Brian.
The pretty mostly naked blonde on her videos. You know, that one?
No, she wears a bikini. She doesn't.
Mostly naked.
She's not on OnlyFans.
And it's a string bikini on top of it. Don't even, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a shame.
I never noticed that she was pretty, actually.
So yeah, they did a thing where they did catch and cook whatever they caught, and they caught some of those puffer fish, and she showed them how to clean them to where you don't get the poison.
Okay.
Yep. Jody says he's got a lot of $2 bills.
Yeah, I see them all the time. People people use them at work.
Check those out too. You never know where you might find a keeper, because if they've got little stars on them, they'll usually be at right at the end of the serial number or at the front end of the serial number
Yep.
here. If those stars are not going the same direction, if they're like opposite of each other, those are worth money because that's a misprint. There, that is right, Don. Although, yeah, there you go. Yep, that's hey. In my channel, you can find all the Mary Burke and Jazzy Bay and Coco Star. Oh, Lon is in waiting. Okay, let's bring him in all the way from Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's not wearing a ball cap tonight. Let's welcome Lon Denard.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Nice hat.
Oi.
Spiffy
Oi.
chop tonight. How you doing,
Well,
Mike?
it was St. Patrick's Day, so I just thought I'd wear my Nominy Niblet. Yeah, I don't know, man.
That
Whatever.
doesn't sound particularly Irish, but okay.
No, I'm working on it. I should have listened to something Irish first.
Yeah. A bit of Cillian Murphy, I think.
Yeah, Killian Murphy. Yeah, sure.
So how about that HELIUS drone that Lon hooked me on to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's the one we were trying to find the other day.
yeah,
That's the one we were trying to find. That thing's like $5,000.
yeah, it is. It's really expensive.
$44.99 or something. Yeah, I looked at it. It was insane.
That's insane. Oh, it's sub 250 though.
Yeah.
What's that by the pound? Holy, gets like $9,000 a pound.
Mhm.
Well, it's got AI though. So it
Yeah,
can follow you like Neo.
and it's 4K.
And it can differentiate between cars and boats and people. Oh, wait. The Neo can do that. The Mini 4 Pro can do that.
Hey, Darren.
It's got AI-powered, American-made coaxial nano drone designed for public
Nice.
safety, emergency response, and industrial use. Wow.
How do they call it a DJI Mini alternative when you're talking about that kind of a price difference? That's just
Yeah.
the hell out
Drone
of here.
DJ some days, man. You know, Ron Brown will post some of their posts. There's one about some leaker that was talking about the Mavic 4 Pro, saying it was going to have a medium format camera and the telelenses were going to be full frame. And yeah, I'm like, why would you even post that garbage? Is it that slow of a news day?
It does have 4G LTE.
Yep.
Yeah, so can Air 3S if we could get the government to allow it.
30 plus minutes of flight time, 45 miles an hour max speed for rapid deployment, field swappable batteries for uninterrupted missions.
It has swappable batteries?
Yeah.
Oh, nobody can see me. Okay, never mind.
You
I can
showing
just see my
shock?
face.
Are you
Yeah,
showing
it's
shock? Oh my
I had a
god!
shocked face. No
Oh,
way.
thanks,
You
Shaq.
can, you can
Oh.
change the
Oh,
battery.
there's his face.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whose face is that?
I
don't
think
know.
it was Lon. I don't know.
I don't know who that-
Advertisement. Apparently, they think you like that because that's how the ads work. They do it based on your cookies and
Yeah,
your
Art.
preferences and this kind of places.
Oh, wait a
you
minute. That
go
was
to.
Mary Burke without makeup, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, that was her cousin Larry Burke. Yeah.
Larry Burke. Marty Burke.
Yeah.
Burkosaurus. No, sometimes Drone Excel, they just, I don't know, man. And then Ron, you know, bless his heart, he posted on Drone Nation, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
It's a load of hogwash. It's a nothing burger. It's barely worth the time it took to read. And I'm a speed reader. You know, and it was barely worth that amount of time.
Really? Tell us more.
No, the whole article is just hogwash. as far as the Mavic 4 Pro article. I could link it to you, but it's utter hogwash. It's garbage.
Right.
It's imagination at its best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meeting our expectations. Yeah, there you go.
It's gonna be a 14-hour flight time.
14-hour flight time. Yeah.
90 miles. It's gonna go 90 miles per hour.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow, it'll take medium. It's a medium format camera, so it'll take 160 roll film. No, that'd be 120 roll film. Yeah.
And it bakes cookies.
And it bakes cookies. And it'll babysit your
machine.
kids too. Wow.
And it'll tuck you into bed at night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Lon sent me an interesting photo. I don't know if you talked about this. Screenshot, I guess. Back in stock now.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yes.
Yep.
The Mini
show us.
Pro, the Air 3S, and the Avata 2 back in stock.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. Wonderful.
The downside, they're still shipping from China. I checked. I checked. But they assured me that if I ordered one, I would get it. That they've overcome. That's why they paused. They've figured out what was going wrong, and supposedly they fixed it, and yada yada yada. If I had $1,500 that I could sock away for a couple weeks, I swear to God I'd order one just to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Because they're claiming 5 days too. They're claiming 5 days to get it. That's what DJI says. 5 days or less. 5 days or less. You're going to have it in hand.
Put it on that balloon that went across the country. A couple of years ago. Yeah, just drop it with a parachute or fly it down for that matter.
Well, just mark the box as fentanyl, and then it'll get here no problem.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that HELIUS thing. What do you who's going to buy it at that price?
Yeah, I know.
Somebody with more money than they know what to do with, like Lon. No, that's a lot. That's a lot. But if they'd sold it for, say, still way too high, $1,500, I think it might sell because it's a U.S. drone company.
Right.
And it's unique. It's different.
It's unique.
I wonder how loud it is. I wonder how loud it is.
The specs aren't bad. They're good. They're DJI or better, right around the same level as the minis.
Yeah.
Plus the advantage of cellular. I don't know what else you could say for it. It does have field swappable batteries.
Yeah.
Did you say field swappable batteries? So if you're in a field, you can swap your batteries.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
wow!
Oh, I thought you said field swap.
What do you get for that? When I saw that price, I just stopped reading. What do you get for that? Do you get a bag? Do you get a blowjob? I mean, a reach around? I mean, what do you get for the?
It'd have to be a hard case.
It's Gucci.
Giggity. But it'd have to be a hard case, right? Yeah. How do you put that in a bag? Unless those props come off. Those props pop off easily. I didn't really look at that. Maybe the props come off easily. Otherwise, how are you putting that in a bag?
Well, I don't know, like a bag like this, nice and long.
No, but if the props are just sticking out all the time, I'm saying you'd have to be able to remove. How do you swap the props? I'm assuming you can, but it'd probably be.
Now, this is going to sound silly and ridiculous, but do those props pivot? Or are they fixed like that? Like maybe they just pivot straight down, and then they come out due to centripetal force.
Oh, okay. So maybe they're normally floppy, like that toy we used to have where you pulled the ripcord, and or like the fairy Barbie, where her little wings dangled down, and then you pulled the ripcord, and then they flapped off, and then you took her clothes off, and you took her back to your room. I mean, and then it flew around.
He's flopping off in that room again. No, but I mean, if they pivot and just fall down on the sides, then you could, put it in a tube.
Yeah, You're right. because they're showing it
anything 15
engaged,
or
right?
$1,000 to $1,500. I mean, people would probably buy it just because it's a U.S. made drone. Because out of curiosity, it wouldn't be a hot seller at that price, but it would. I think it might sell. I don't know who the F's going to buy it at that kind of money. And I am curious. Do you get extra battery for 40? Probably not for $44.99.
I would hope so.
I hope that includes a controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about a controller, but it's AI controlled. Well, they need a controller.
And you just talk to your phone and it does whatever you want.
Oh, maybe it's Neuralink.
There you go.
Mm.
Yes. Maybe read your mind.
Fly over there.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Mm.
Yeah.
Let's
Because they
go
don't
over
mention
to Bill's
range.
house.
They don't mention range. They don't mention any of that. They don't mention wind resistance. Although it does 45 miles per hour, it's got to be a level 5 then. You would imagine.
Cool, Cat. How did you send me that picture? Through email?
Mr. Kitty.
Want me to show a picture of a puffer fish, apparently. Let me see. Did you email me? Yes, he did. Michael.
A picture of interest about puffer's fish.
Yeah, I showed him the fish that I caught when I went to the
I see what this is. Okay.
Florida.
All right.
Oh, you caught a puffer fish? Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Did it try to teach you how to drive?
Yeah.
SpongeBob fans? SpongeBob fans anywhere? SpongeBob fans?
No.
Mrs. Puff? Yeah. SpongeBob fans? No? Oh, well. Oh, Wi-Fi. Okay. There you go. It's controlled with a Wi-Fi suppository.
Yeah, you can fly it with your ass. There you go. Or you can fly it from Uranus. Yay, there you go.
Hey, yo, that's some serious range.
Yeah. Ooh, boy.
Wow. No, it's I mean that's the problem, isn't it? They want to ban DJI, they want to ban Chinese drones, and that's the fucking alternative. That's what we're dealing with.
Okay.
You know.
Interesting.
So this is what he sent.
Nice.
TTX level. What's TTX? Is that the poison?
Probably, yeah.
Guess so.
Time to expire.
Yeah, probably. Hey, Glenn.
And it shows where the killer glands are, I guess.
Oh,
You're supposed to flay them in a certain way, right?
Right.
If you pierce the poison pouches, it would. If you ate the fish, it would kill you. Am I correct, or is that just an urban legend of some kind?
It could be, yeah.
Definitely poisonous, but I don't know if it'll kill you or make you sick as hell. Poison doesn't necessarily kill. I've heard these will kill
That's
you,
true.
but I don't know if it's true or not.
That's always been the story, right? That if you're not careful about the way you prepare the fish, or if you prepare the wrong season of the year or something, I forget.
Yeah.
I'm not really into it, but supposedly it's dangerous. You know, so people that get sushi with puffer fish on it are rolling the dice. Supposedly, it's dangerous.
AI overview. AI. Yes, pufferfish can be lethal if consumed, as they contain a potent neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin.
Oh,
It's got a cool name. Tetrodotoxin or something like that. TTX, which can cause paralysis and death. Even a small lethal dose, even a small amount. That's not helpful. What's a small amount? There's no antidote.
Yeah. Well, you can eat lionfish too. Yeah, they're the ones that have that big spines on them. They're really pretty and they're invasive.
Tetrodotoxin. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Killer Show. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Killer Shows.
No, he said despite people dying from eating that fish, somebody decided to keep trying till they got it right. And it's interesting, but I guess if you got nothing else to eat, that's how most food comes about, or most strange food comes about.
Right.
You know, people are like, "Oh, we're getting ready to die here, fellas."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see if this root is edible, right? Who started eating potatoes, for example? I mean, Let's see if this root's edible. Let's see if, whatever. Most
Ooh,
red berries are poisonous, but what about this big red berry? A
yeah,
tomato.
tomato. Yeah. hmm
Yeah, what about
Yeah,
that?
I
Let's
used
see.
to
Try
believe that
that.
was poisonous too until
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah, there was some New Jersey myth. I don't know how true it is that a farmer who wanted to produce tomatoes and sell them, but the belief around was the general belief was that they were poisonous and nobody would eat them. He couldn't sell his crop, so he actually put up the billboards and signs and in the newspaper, whatever. He's going to eat tomatoes at wherever, whatever city in New Jersey it was. Could have been Trenton. Who the hell knows? And everybody like swarmed there. There were hundreds of people that had watched this guy kill himself.
Right.
And of course, he didn't die. And I'm sure he had plenty of samples.
Mhm.
And thus started good pizza.
Yep.
And spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
Spaghetti sauce. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Before that,
I mean,
was
aren't those people-
aioli.
Huh?
Aren't those people Italians in New Jersey? Is that a really large Italian population in New Jersey?
That's got
Is
a
that-
huge
am I wrong?
Italian- huge Italian population.
So how would they not
Not that far
down
back.
with tomatoes?
Not that far back. The guineas didn't start showing up until around the turn of last century.
Right. Mhm.
Oh, in the 1900s, like came through
Early
Ellis
1900s,
Island.
late 1800s, early
Late
1900s.
1800s.
Oh, and they brought tomatoes with
just
them.
after the wave of Irish that had come in. Then the guineas came.
Hmm,
Right.
The mix and then the guineas. I could say that.
got you. So all the people that wouldn't eat tomatoes are probably mixed then,
Well, like I said, tomatoes are
or Germans.
no, they're indigenous to the United States, to the Americas.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so interesting. Now, what's the history of how they got back to Italy to make spaghetti sauce and shit? Because
they brought them back. They
is
brought
this
back a
just
lot of stuff. They
bullshit?
brought back pineapples. They brought back all kinds of stuff the Europeans never saw. Not pineapples from. I mean, I'm talking about Cook did. When he went to Hawaii. But although there were a lot of pineapples in Florida, this area here used to be one of the biggest producers of pineapples in the country years and years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah.
but I think they may have even been brought here from Hawaii too. So, but what was I going to say? No, they didn't. They didn't have it. They had spaghetti, but heck, they got those noodles when Marco Polo went to China.
Right. And they were using like white sauces and clam sauces before they started using tomato sauces, probably, right?
They would
For the noodles, I'm
they
saying.
would do just oil and garlic. My phone's ringing. I'll be right back.
I hear it.
Probably work.
I will be right back too.
We're all leaving until Bill's done with his call.
Okay.
Hello.
All by myself.
It seems that way.
Don't want to live. So interesting. I guess it's just all this is very interesting to me. I mean, it's like my
everything is.
family background is whack because my grandfather married my grandma when he was over here trying to win his fortune or whatnot. And then he took her back to France. And she
Okay.
was Native American. She was part Native American. So my mom was part Native American, even though she was born overseas.
Uh-huh.
No, don't turn.
She was born in Europe. And they were a bunch of gypsies and,
Yeah.
gypsies, tramps, and thieves or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like Euro trash, basically.
Click on it.
Yeah.
And then it'll
So it's just
pop up and
interesting.
say refund how much money, and then you're gonna
How the stuff happens.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
because you think tomatoes, spaghetti sauce, yada yada yada, you automatically think Italians, right?
Yeah.
When
yeah,
I think of red sauce, period, all I think about is Italians for the most part. Until you start talking about salsa and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I think about Italians. And then to find out that the tomatoes were indigenous to the Americas and it ended up getting shipped back there at some point, and then they started making spaghetti sauces or whatever. It's just interesting to me. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is fascinating.
This is how this happens. How it all happens like that.
Go to reservations.
Like corn is indigenous to the states, to North
Yep.
America. And now it's eaten everywhere in the world. If nothing else, is when you chomp down on a Dorito.
Yeah.
You know, you're eating corn. So pineapple on pizzas, you're dead to me,
Yeah.
Jim. You're dead to me. Pineapple on pizza. Mushrooms, yes. Olives, yes. Pineapple, or bacon on everything.
Yeah, bacon
You
on
know,
everything.
yeah, but pineapple, negative.
No. Did you double click on it or something? No, I didn't say to do that.
Yeah.
Please close that. Get out of that.
Holding the
Just
damn
get out of
baby.
that. Go to the base
So,
screen that showed the base
It is
screen.
interesting, that's all, how things happen. But the Mavic 4 Pro,
Don't open it.
I was getting kind of geeked because I've been concerned about how we're going to get a Mavic 4 Pro into the country.
There.
Yeah.
With all the drones being out of stock, they're not selling drones in this country right now, yada, yada. Then I saw it all went back in stock, and I'm like, aha, DJI for the win. You know what I mean? They figured this shit out.
Yeah.
And then I saw they were still shipping from China, and I'm kind of like,
Hey, Randy.
Yeah. Okay. You can. Don't continue from here.
potatoes? Nah, I don't think so. Just because of that whole Irish thing, where potatoes is such a big Irish thing, I find it hard to believe that they're indigenous to North America, but they could be. Sweet potatoes are, I think.
All right. You'll see.
Yeah.
It's very easy. I usually do it over the phone. I just haven't given me.
You could ask Bill, though. His family is deep in the potato industry. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. All right.
And
That's
I'm
a good
back.
question.
Yeah.
Yay, Art's back.
Hey. Had to go pee.
Yay.
I'm back.
That's cool.
Alrighty.
Should have went for Bill while you were gone.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, Bill's back.
Hey.
You guys, you sure didn't have a little rendezvous? Is that what happened? You guys left at the same time, came back at the same time.
Question. Huh? Enough.
Art, you got a little something right here, bud. You know.
What?
Some of that, you're typing a little too fast, buddy.
Randy,
so popular that
Speak it again.
DHI, yeah. But I think he meant DJI, that's fine.
Close enough.
Nah, because it's across several models that they were out of stock on, only in the US. That's the part that I think a lot of people are
No,
missing.
you're able to buy it in other countries. It's
Every other country in the world had them in stock. You could buy them, no problem, except for the US for like a month. All the most popular drones were out of stock. They weren't. You couldn't buy them here. Probably by the foot, upside down, if I was guessing. Oh, like a football?
Oh, Randy's driving. So Randy,
He's driving.
that was an
So you've
excellent
got-
job. That was an excellent
Randy's
job.
driving, and Mudball is holding a baby. Okay.
Yeah. So
Ah.
Randy, so you did. Don't worry
I
about
think
those
that's
typos. That
exciting
was an
tonight.
excellent job. Just stop driving and texting. By the way, stop.
We might be using talk to text,
Voice to text.
Ah,
Yeah,
like
I've done that. Yeah.
voice to text.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets things
Get
wrong.
some.
It does get things wrong. I've had
Yeah.
that a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
And it sucks because then you can't just get rid of it easily. Now you're actually having to text to get that bad message out or send it.
Yeah.
Yeah, done that.
Don't kick the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Kick the baby.
Don't
Not
kick the baby.
Not the mama.
Not the mama.
Yeah.
No, that's a different show.
No,
Yeah.
that was dinosaurs. I love that show.
Yeah.
I love that show too. The dad. The dad was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Junior, I'm not sure what you're talking about. He had a voice sort of like that, but a little
Yeah.
bit more Italian. It felt like.
They were kind of a, who were they supposed to be? The Flintstones, maybe? Or
Yeah, I like the Flintstones.
and the Flintstones are supposed to be like the honeymooners. So
Yeah.
people say that, but Flintstones and dinosaurs had babies, and it was just Alice and Ralph on the honeymooners. They didn't have any kids,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Alice
So
is
it's-
barren.
so it's the jokes definitely different. It was all Ralph and Ed, and Ralph and his wife.
Plus, they live in an apartment. That's a little bit different, as opposed to the Flintstones. They had their own house, and dinosaurs they had their own house.
Live in New York. Episodes when they stick their head out the window and they're screaming between the windows. And it's like,
hey, nothing.
That's a thing.
Get down there.
That's a thing. People in New York, I don't know if they do it now because people shoot at it. But
they got phones too.
Yeah, you got the cell phone. Well, not just that. For the kids too. To get your kids. God, like was that Anthony, the Prince Spaghetti commercial. Anthony, it's the south side of Boston, and Anthony Papagazza, I don't know what his last name was, knows was it Wednesday? Wednesday is Prince Spaghetti Day.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, and the mom was screaming him out the window. I'm thinking, that's just like what my mother used to do. And scream out the window, Billy! And she's a big woman with a big mouth. You could hear her a long ways away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's every mother back then, though. Now they just call the kids. Because the kids, by the time you're 8 years old, you got a phone.
Yep.
Now they
don't even tell them what to do. They got rights,
Yeah.
Now my stepmom used to yell off the back porch for us when she wanted us.
Yeah.
So.
Well, again, it was a different time. That's how it was.
Mm-hmm. When nobody had phones, man. We barely had a house phone, much less everybody having phones in their pocket.
Well, honestly, though, in Jersey, in that little town I lived in, my mother was the only one that did that. But just to be clear.
Really?
The only person sticking their head. That was in that town in New Jersey, though. I mean, it was more common in the city, I guess.
But, there you have it.
But, yeah, it was Anthony. Yep.
Anthony. Yeah, so Mark did the research. Apparently, potatoes were brought from Virginia. So apparently, potatoes are indigenous to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
See everything we've contributed. Tomatoes, potatoes, corn. What about wheat? Now, they had wheat in Europe, right? Before people came here?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because wheat seems like universal staple, all over the world.
I think rye, believe it or not, was more common. Rye and maybe alfalfa. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so maybe wheat is indigenous to the U.S. then.
Let's do a Google search. Okay, AI.
Aye.
Well, what about rice?
Yeah.
No, obviously not indigenous to the U.S. That one's pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
They get brown rice from Africa, though. Hey-o. A racist would say. Yeah. So what about wheat? How about that wheat?
Here's a great little list. Okay. A detailed look at what constitutes indigenous produce. Blah, blah, blah. Indigenous produce encompasses food sources that are native to a particular area and integral to the traditional diets. Well, that part I don't give a shit about. And cultures of the indigenous people living there. Well, you had to be all woke about it, didn't you? Plants. Okay. Corn.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Beans.
I knew about corn.
Squash.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin.
Yeah, I think I knew that. I knew that too. I think I knew pumpkin.
Tomatoes.
I knew that.
Peppers.
Like in green peppers or just straight up
all
all
they just
peppers?
said peppers. That's bad. I need there had to have been some kind of peppers over there.
You would think.
Peanuts.
I knew about peanuts.
Avocados. Papayas.
I knew that. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, papayas. Potatoes. There it is.
Potatoes. There it is.
And chocolate, of course. Everybody, chocolate's not a crop, but okay.
Well, no, the cocoa bean is a crop.
It's a cocoa, right?
Yeah, cocoa.
South America.
Yeah. Coffee. Would they miss coffee?
No, they had coffee in the Middle East. How do you think we got Arabica beans?
Because I believe it was brought there.
Well, find out. Let's find out.
Let's roll the dice. Maybe you're right then. I would have swore coffee was an American drink that was imported to Europe. I'm glad we're doing this because if it ever comes up, I don't want to bet on it. Because I would have bet that coffee was how about cigarettes, tobacco? I thought tobacco was indigenous to the U.S. because it was called the Native Americans' revenge, is what they used to call it. Because they introduced settlers to tobacco, and now all these people are dying of cancer.
Yes, tobacco is indigenous to North and South America.
The history of coffee dates back centuries. First,
With the tobacco plant, the Nicotiana, being part of the nightshade family. I wasn't aware of that. Nightshade's poisonous.
Yeah, no shit. So is tobacco. Nicotine is a poison.
Yeah.
Well, nicotine's in a
people
lot.
kill people.
Nicotine's in a lot of food, right? Not just tobacco.
Yeah, look at that.
There's nicotine in broccoli.
It's been a member for 33 months. And
Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah.
as
3 more
well.
months.
There you
that's
go.
3 years.
I'm a member.
Time goes for.
Help the channel out.
Wow. You must do a lot for your members, Art.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he does.
you know what? They get first look at my videos before they go.
Wow.
Yep.
Could we pay extra to get last look? Yeah. So, Middle Eastern, there you have it.
Coffee came from Ethiopia and Yemen.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, there you have it. You're absolutely right. Cool beans. I get it. Cool beans.
Hey, boy.
Member for
Boy, Dusty.
37 months. Wow.
So somebody brought it here, and then we started because we took over the coffee industry. I would say, would everyone agree?
Well,
South America and in South America and whatnot. Sure.
And the Philippines has coffee
Yeah.
too.
What about sugarcane? How about that? Sugar used to be in very high demand. It was an very expensive.
Right.
Sugar used to be super duper expensive. That's why it was worthwhile to import slaves and whatnot to South America to produce it, because it's got to be a crop that's worthwhile, right? Or why bother? Sugarcane apparently was, because they spent a lot of money to cultivate it. So I would imagine sugarcane. What about bananas? It's bananas. Bananas. Yeah, bananas, it feels like are North and South America too. South America primarily, I would imagine, right?
Bananas are indigenous to Southeast Asia.
Yep.
Really?
Specifically the region encompassing the Malaya Peninsula,
How interesting.
Indonesia, the Philippines, and New Guinea.
Has Art been to the Philippines?
Yes.
Nope.
Have you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Pretty funny.
That is super interesting.
I was using the G word for Italians earlier in a playful manner, all you Guineas out there. And then I got another opportunity to say Guinea again. New Guinea!
Yeah.
Hey.
That's also
Super
where
interesting.
sugarcane originated from.
New Guinea?
Southeast Asia.
So they transplanted it from wherever to South America,
Oh, check
and they
this
brought in
out.
their slaves to cultivate it.
Now that's
And bananas too.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Now that's what AI said. Now there's another site here. Banana, rainforest alliance. They say that tropical portions of India's Southeast Asia, as we just mentioned all of Southeast Asia, with the Philippines and Malaya and all that, and northern Australia.
Mhm.
Well, the Australians produce something.
Queensland.
What do you know?
Yeah, Queensland. Because,
I
Queensland
never knew
is
that.
known as banana benders.
And were brought to South America by the
Country Joe.
Portuguese in the 16th century.
And we got Jim Boshart in the chat. Hey, Jim.
Hey! Is he? I don't
Yay!
see him.
And Steve Knowles.
Oh,
Somebody
people are
said-
saying hi
there
to
he
him,
is.
so I'm assuming there he is in there.
Yep.
Did you send him a? Oh, wait a minute, it's Art's channel. That's right. It's not Bill's channel. My bad.
I saw that joke too, Jim. Nobody raises an eyebrow when you eat a Snickers. More people, diabetes kills more people than tobacco does.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that comedian.
Mhm.
You're stealing jokes.
Yeah.
So
Well,
okay, that's
you
very
order.
interesting.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
Super
Mhm.
interesting.
Welcome to Art
Believe it or not, this is super duper interesting. It's like
Food Origins.
it's just interesting how the idea that it made sense to transplant those plants to South America and then bring in all those slaves and whatnot just to produce that crop seems like a monumental enterprise. You know what I mean? It seems like it would
I
be
would think there were
lots of
always looking.
investment.
Yeah, but back then they were always looking for land, better, more land from because the population was growing. They were constantly expanding. Well, we're going to expand here. What are we going to do with all this? And what are they going to do? They're going to feed people. They're going to produce. You know, once they take all the gold.
Right, but see, this is way back in the day, though, when
But they
it took
they knew
3 months to cross the ocean or a month or whatever it took.
Yeah, no, it takes
You know
a
what I
while.
mean?
Well, I know,
Yeah,
I
that's a
understand
lot.
that.
That's what I'm saying. That's all. It's just a lot. That's all.
I mean, they obviously knew. They probably had an idea. I think where bananas grow, and where they grow well, and they just knew in South America they would grow well there.
Or
Actually,
they just threw shit against the wall and saw what stuck.
nah, you'd have to have a lot of boats for that, man. I mean, I think they already knew.
No, I mean, they brought a lot of crops. So they
probably
tried
to
different
grow
shit.
them in Spain, and they didn't do so well. And they anyway. So
why not? I wonder. It gets hot in Spain, right?
Not just heat, it's humidity. It's the humidity. What's needed for bananas to grow? Let's find out.
A lot of water, a lot of rain. And
Yeah, a lot of water. Sure.
a lot of parts of Spain are very arid.
That's probably true.
Mhm.
It just seems like a monumental enterprise. You know what I'm saying? What they already grew in New Guinea. Why not just take over New Guinea? That's what I'm saying.
Well,
That's where they brought them from, right? That's what everybody's saying. They were in New
They had
Guinea.
trillions of acres of land that they had to do something with, so they grew shit on it.
You mean South America?
Well, yeah, they spread out a lot of places in South America, and they had to eat. So,
It just seems interesting, that's all, that you would go through the trouble of bringing a crop that's already being grown somewhere that you already own. Because Europe owned New Guinea, right? Am I wrong about that?
yeah, well,
Europe already owned New Guinea, right?
I
don't know.
It was
I don't know
part
that.
of the
I don't know
Dutch,
Portugal or somebody owned New Guinea, right?
the Dutch owned half of it. And
Okay.
Australia owned the other half.
Yeah.
Which is the British. Back when we're talking about.
It was the Dutch. It was part of Dutch East Indies.
No, Australians. You said Australians.
Australia,
yeah,
That's the yeah.
New Guinea.
I don't know. Australia. When did it actually become a country? I mean,
Yeah, Australia just got their independence after us,
Australia-
wasn't it?
It was just
Australia
Botany Bay
1901.
Colony.
1901?
Yeah.
1801?
January the 1st, 1901.
So they weren't involved in the banana trade in the 1700s, fellas. 17,
It might have been,
1800s
but
or
not as a country. I mean, I'm sure there was trade going on. That their population grew enough
It was
to the
individual.
point where they became a
each
country.
State was their own colony, but it was still under the auspices of the
Great
United
Britain.
Kingdom at the time.
United Kingdom,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotcha.
You're the Botany Bay Colony.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
just interesting.
you're descended from criminals that were just too bad to live in England,
John!
and that's saying
Yeah,
a
who
lot.
are those people? Too bad Mark wasn't on.
Well, political prisoners got sent there too. So, here's a more detailed breakdown. Climate. This is bananas. They thrive in tropical and subtropical regions with consistently warm temperatures. See, that's part of it. Is 78 to 86.
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
Queensland is
Or 26 to 30
Queensland
Celsius.
is where most of the bananas are produced in Australia.
That's ideally. So it says 78 to 86 or 26 to 30. That's a small range. Soil, they need rich, well-drained soil that is deep and retains moisture well. Water. Bananas plants are water hungry and require regular watering to. So that's what it is. It's rainforest fruit to ensure the soil stays either. Sunlight. They need a lot of sunlight, ideally 12 hours a day.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah. So England is out because 12 hours a week isn't going to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
I mean, they
Well,
could probably try to use grow lights. Oh, wait a minute. The power went out in London. Then they just had a
They had a problem at heat.
big outage. Had to shut down the airport and everything.
Yeah, they had to shut down the airport.
That's a serious thing when a city that size loses its power. Remember when New York? Remember what happened in New York? The blackout in New York? Holy crap!
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of lime in seashells, right? Is that why they grow them in seashells, Mark? And I get what Don's saying, but so they went to the trouble to grow bananas in South America to feed themselves?
Bananas are heavy feeders and require regular fertilization throughout the growing season with a balanced fertilizer rich in potassium and phosphorus. I'm just thinking they found a new land. They found it incredibly rich, and lots of rain, lots of incredible growth, because that's what it was like back then. Probably still is. Most of South America probably still is. But, and this would be perfect to make cash crops, I guess. So that's what they did.
Apparently, Don thinks they grew bananas just to eat.
Well,
And
I said that earlier. But
I
they
guess.
they said they're growing their population there. They got to eat something. Anyway, that's which is exactly what it said.
One moment. Well, just quick. There were people already in South America that were eating something before the Europeans showed up. Why would they have to bring bananas?
Because they liked them
for people to eat. No, I'm just saying.
No, they just knew that they would grow. They knew that they would grow well there.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? They needed them to eat. What do you mean?
It did happen.
People were there.
They did it. Why did they do it? All right, fine. It's killing on. So we're going to stay on this for a while.
It's not killing me. It's just a matter of it. If they made it as a cash crop, I could get that. But
as most Spaniards went there, they knew what they were heading into. An extremely humid, extremely hot part of the world. And so they brought shit that would do well there. And that's
sure. Okay. I'll go along with that, except for bananas. We're a staple in fucking Spain. Bananas weren't a staple food in Spain in the 1600s, man. Get the fuck out of here.
They saw these yellow things on a tree and decided, okay, let's eat these.
No. Spain was all over the world. They had bananas at the time, obviously.
Well, potentially, I agree with that. I can't argue with that.
They were everywhere. They were in Malaysia. They were in the Philippines. So I guess they found bananas.
Yeah, fair enough. It's just interesting to me that's all. It just seems like a lot to go through.
And the only thing I can talk about is where the bananas are in Australia. So that's the only relevance my conversation is to this.
Yeah.
It's just like I alluded to and Don flat out said. Spanish colonists brought, and I'm sure they did well, and they just kept growing, by the way. They took over. Spanish colonists brought bananas to South America, originating from Southeast Asia in the early 16th century, early 1500s, with the goal of using them as a food source for the growing slave population. And I shouldn't even laugh at that. And as a valuable intercropping plant for colonial plantations. Money.
Well, they probably figured they saw gorillas eating them. So,
oh man,
yeah.
Terminology.
Because there's no bananas in Africa, and that's one continent I didn't hear anybody mention. So why would they think the slaves would appreciate bananas? Whatever.
They said, what they said here, feeding the slave, bananas were seen as, this is the explanation, bananas were seen as a readily available and nutritious food source for the growing slave population. So they thought they were good.
Wow.
And intercropping, the banana plants with their large leaves were used to provide shade for other valuable crops like coffee, cocoa, that's cocoa, and pepper. Which needed indirect sunlight.
Well, very nice. I am so super duper happy that I learned that.
Well, I mean, you seem to be interested in
No,
it.
it makes sense. It makes sense. It just, I don't know. What's wrong with the crops that already grew in South America? That's all. It just seems kind of,
They like
you know what I mean?
Nothing
That's all.
wrong
I
with
can't
those.
get off of that.
Nothing wrong with
You
them.
know what I mean? It's just kind of weird. That's all. But
Yeah,
okay, cool beans.
I kind of like the taste of these bananas. I'm glad those Spaniards brought them
I don't know,
over.
maybe.
Well, the
And I don't know
Spaniards, they
anything
didn't
about.
want them. They were feeding their damn slaves with them.
I don't know anything about
You
banana
know?
trees or whatever.
Or bushes.
But but
I think they're a bush.
no, it's banana tree.
That's why I think he's trying to tell everybody that bananas don't grow on trees.
Well, they grow on a pod.
No,
It's a fern.
It's
Isn't it a fern or
tree.
something?
It's a banana
It's
tree.
well, they're actually
He
herbs.
was, he was being that was tongue in
Bananas are
cheek.
herbs.
Bananas don't grow on trees.
So they grow on a stem, basically. And then, obviously, it's easier to say it's a tree because it looks like a tree.
Oh,
but it
is that
really
what you're
isn't.
saying? No, bananas don't grow on trees. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. That's not a tree. Just
Yeah, like a fern or whatever, right?
a tall, round thing with fronds coming off of it isn't a tree. That's great.
Yeah.
But neither are all these palm trees down here. Because that's exactly what I'm looking at a picture of one. Looks like a
Are they just big ass ferns? Aren't they ferns or whatever? Is that what they're called?
No. What is it?
No?
Not a tree. It's actually a large herbaceous plant, meaning it doesn't have a woody stem like a true tree.
Right.
Fair
Tell you
enough.
what, neither do palm trees, man. Maybe palm trees aren't trees. I don't look
No,
at it.
they're like compressed leaves, aren't they?
No,
kinda?
no. The part of
Yeah.
it is that goes in for so far, but then the actual center of it is fibrous. It's like compacted fibers. It will f up your chainsaw like there's no tomorrow. You know, it's
Yeah.
and it's wet. You know, so it's just a real bitch, dude. Unless it's dead and it dried out. Even then, it's a mess. You know what I mean? It's a real pain in the ass.
Well, they probably brought watermelons down there too to feed all their slaves, Don.
And fried chicken plants and stuff like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They're actually the fruit of the world's largest herb. The banana tree is an herb.
Yeah, somebody said that already as herb.
Yeah.
Reunited.
Yeah, it's a herb.
Mm.
A herb. And it's got a H on it.
Okay, people are really smart. You know how to look up stuff on Google. Don't kid me.
Yeah. No. I always find this stuff fascinating for sure. I think it's interesting. It just seems strange. That's all, to some extent. But okay, it's like bringing cows to the new world when all this buffalo were running around. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it just seems a little. Do horses next, because horses is another one that's really
I'm
strange to
doing
me.
palm trees right now. Well, palm trees are often called, palms. Oh, you're clever. Well, palms are often called trees due to their size and appearance, but technically, they are not considered true trees. So this is closer to a tree, apparently, because they almost say it. Not considered true trees.
It's almost a tree.
Because
Well, they're
they
not wood.
belong to the monocot family, not the dicot family, like most trees, and lack features like bark and they
all
have no
happening
bark
there.
or cambium. I don't know what the fuck. What is cambium?
They don't grow out in rings either, do they?
Yeah.
Or do
Oh.
they?
It
Maybe.
would be for the
Yeah,
next
with
era
the-
that Cambion.
Good question. I mean, no, it's not like a yearly ring, like a seasonal ring, like wood.
Yeah, horses are not native.
Oh, okay,
to
fair
America.
enough. I thought they found prehistoric horses in America though. I can't remember what it's called. Don might remember what it's called, but
Tapir or Tapirs?
yeah, I thought they found prehistoric horse.
Yeah, they were
Um,
small. They were small horse.
Well,
Horse.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got something against small things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You of all people?
What are they talking about? The horses that they found in North America? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought they found prehistoric horse remains in America.
Oh no, they were around much later than that. They found caves full of horse bones They were hunted out of existence by the
Natives?
native population.
No. Natives never do anything
I
like
know.
that.
I know.
They have
don't.
nothing but respect for their environment.
They only killed that one
and-
buffalo. They
yeah,
never
they only-
stampeded them off a cliff and
No,
took what they wanted.
no,
They never did
no,
How about
no,
the woolly mammoth?
no. They never enslaved each other. They never,
No.
they never fought or nothing. I'll have you
And
know they
never
live in peace with nature. I'll have you know.
There was a
all
Canadian,
times.
and that one Canadian tribe did not engage in cannibalism. That's just not
No.
true.
Absolutely not. The Trudeau tribe. I mean the.
Just because winter it got hard to feed yourself. There's no reason to think that this tribe engaged in that.
The Donner
or
tribe.
their
Was it
enemies
the
that they
Donner tribe.
killed. Yeah, the Donner Party method. That's
The
the
Donner
Donner
tribe.
Party
Donner
diet
tribe.
method.
Well, unless you're Joe Biden's uncle who crashed off the coast of New Guinea.
New
Yeah.
Guinea. We got Guinea's the word of the night today.
Word of the day is
Which is
Guinea.
interesting because why do you call Guineas Italians Guineas if
I
they're
used to know
not
that.
from
I
New
don't
Guinea?
know now. I know Dago and I know Wop, but I don't. Let me see.
It's the area of Italy they're from, right? Like Sicilians have a certain derogatory term attached to them. If I'm not mistaken?
Who?
Sicilians.
I mean, but then you don't use the words in pleasant company. But I mean, there's jokes.
It's a derogatory terminology, obviously.
Well, it's not Muyani. It's that's black people, right?
Muyan is the word Muyan means eggplant.
Oh, so why do they call black people that? Did I say it wrong? Did I just pronounce it
No,
wrong?
it's Muyan is right. Yeah, a Muyan is an eggplant, and that's what they call.
Oh, because of the color of the eggplant.
There you go. There's outside, the inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't spend a lot of time looking at eggplants. It just dawned on me. Guinea is a pound and 1 shilling. So a guinea is slightly more than a pound, apparently. I hate English money. I'm so glad that it did away with it. When I was we took a day trip to London, and oh my effing God. And that was back in the 80s, so juggling around the stupid English money. I was so freaking annoyed.
Oh, what? The pence and
well, they have a different name. They call the pound like 5 different names, it feels like. I get it. It's probably only 2, but it felt like 5 at the time. Kronas was way easier. Marks were easy to deal with. Everything else was easy to deal with. When we went to Greece, it was easy to deal with their money. Everywhere else, it was easy to deal with their money. Freaking England, man. What the hell? What the hell? It was such a pain in the ass.
Oh, it was a quarter guinea, a third a guinea.
Yeah, I don't know, but English money's murder. English money's murder. Francs weren't even that hard to deal with.
Right.
Freaking English money was murder.
It's very interesting. Guinea and has a tie to black people. They actually used to call slaves Guineas. They came from that region. And,
New Guinea, right?
Yeah, and then they started. Well, yeah,
New
Guinea.
But
plain old Guinea.
Apparently, that's where it was a derogatory term towards dark and swarthy people and like that. And a lot of the Italians that came over were darker than a typical American, and then they started calling them that. So it's basically the Italians claimed it away from. It was just a generic term to call anybody that wasn't white, I guess.
Oh.
And then the Italians, cultural appropriation, the Italians took it.
How dare you?
And that's interesting. I did not know that, actually.
We'll have to take it back. I'm gonna call all my brothers. We have an annual meeting. I'm gonna get with all the other black people, and we're gonna see about taking Guinea back. Oh, what's up, my Guinea?
Old English money. After the Norman conquest in 1066, the pound was divided into 20 shillings, or 240 pennies. Remained so until the decimation in February 15th, 1971, when the pound was divided up, as it's still done today.
Well, it didn't feel like it at that time. I don't know. It was only 10 years later, so I guess maybe everyone wasn't on board or something. I don't know.
Here's the last word. Here's the last word on that guinea thing. I just found something else. It appears because we still talk about Africa or where what region wasn't New Guinea. It appears to stem from a word in Portuguese referring to black African people near Senegal. And then, of course, there is the Gulf of Guinea, which was named blah, 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 and it goes on and on. So that's where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. All right. Italians liked it. Italians, they probably just started swamping. They were coming in droves. So they just started to own the word.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A lot of us came over, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why. Why? What was going on?
There was something bad going on in Italy, probably.
I'd imagine.
It's the same story, isn't it? Where they were starving, or there was economic turmoil, or whatever.
It was like the Irish, the Irish. First of all, they were dirt poor forever, but then on top of it, they couldn't even scratch out anything because of the potato blight.
Right. And English rule too.
Rules over that's why they were dirt poor. Yeah, it was exactly.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So they wanted to escape that, I guess, and there was some what
the blight. I think the potato blight. I mean, they probably already wanted to go, and probably all their lives wanted to go. But things are. You know what I mean? You live here. This is where you're at. Now there's no food. Okay, guess what? We're going.
Time to go.
Time to go.
Well, between the religious persecution and the poor, the lack of resources, I would imagine it's the same reason why people from South America come here. That's an arduous trip, and that you spend everything you have, you save every penny, and get up with just enough money to give it to a coyote. And
well, I mean, but that's a real reason though. People were starving to death over there, in droves.
Right.
It was bad. It's not just because they wanted a better job, or make some more money.
That's true too.
You know what I'm saying? They may have wanted to come, but that was the thing that pushed them into doing it. Because America was asking for labor, at the time.
Right.
Because of the industrial growth. Now, that doesn't mean they took anybody. They sent people back.
Yep.
Yeah.
People ended up with if they had criminal records, they sent them back. If, honest to God, if they found out, they had to find out.
I don't know how they'd find out.
You also had to come with your own money. You had to have enough money to be able to get yourself a room that night. They weren't putting you up. You came in. You had to have certain things when you got here. It wasn't super duper expensive.
Also, diseases. If you have certain diseases,
if you were sick, they would get the fuck back.
Well, they put you in quarantine. If I'm not mistaken, they would put people in quarantine.
Probably on a boat out in the harbor.
And delousing. They did delousing and all kinds of crap.
Yeah, but that's kind of fun. Have you ever been deloused?
Mm-hmm. You're lousy. You lousy bastard. No, this is super duper. Once again, this is just super duper interesting to me. It's stuff you don't learn in school, which you probably should. I'll be honest with you. There's some of the stuff you should probably learn in school.
But maybe you did, and then hey, we got this Department of Education that went away.
You mean? Well, I need to understand that people were more educated in the late 1700s and early 1800s to the 1900s than they are now. The kids
the Department of Education started the year I graduated high school.
Yeah, 1971.
Wow, is that old?
So yeah.
Yep.
No, yeah, Carter put it in. It's either it might have been 78 or 79. I'm not sure, but that's when it was. It was during the Carter administration, probably 79. So I went through all my years of schooling without any Department of fucking Education. The whole idea of this was to create an organization to make the education better across and more even and better across the United States. Because of course some states had better education than others.
Sure.
Yeah, they failed. They're talking $3 trillion later. And we're no better than we were then. If anything, we're worse.
Well, it's been proven.
47.
Right. We were 47th. We used to be number one. It's well proven. People used to come here from all over the world to go to our schools, but it's been well proven.
They still do to go to our colleges.
It's been well proven through history that when you try to nationalize something like that, you can't raise the lower to match the upper. You typically lower the upper to match the lower.
Right.
I mean, when you try to make the poor people rich, normally what happens is you make the rich people less rich. You know what I mean? Or you eliminate the middle class. Everybody gets down here. Everybody doesn't end up here. Right. It never happens that way. Never. Absolutely never.
Well, anyway, it's a complete failure. So, and he's not. This isn't a new idea, by the way. Just by the way, Reagan talked about it. Who the hell else? It was a Democrat that talked about it.
Sure. It might have been Obama. Clinton. Probably Clinton. Who knows?
It might have been Clinton because it was. It wasn't. It's not doing anything. It's funneling billions of dollars. It's crazy. Now
it's stupid.
But getting rid of it is a good thing. That doesn't mean that these schools and these states aren't going to get funding. They're still going to get funding.
Yeah,
maybe not.
They shouldn't need federal funding anyway.
If they need help, if they need help. Well, see, the thing is, I know, but 14%. They say nationally. I just saw this today. Nationally, the federal government supplies 14% of the budget to local schools. That's how much of their budget school districts get. Approximately 14% of their overall budget comes from a national tax dollar.
Well, guess what?
Plus, they're getting taxes from the local people. Property owners anyway. I pay school tax here. It's a nice chunk of my tax bill, and so they got their own source. Why did they start needing so much federal money?
They don't. And look at these high schools building $1 million football stadiums and crap. Give me a freaking break.
Yeah.
High schools with $1 million football stadiums. Yeah. Come on now. Come on.
Big in Texas. Yeah.
It's not just Texas, dude. Well, East Grand Rapids here in right 10, 15 miles from where I'm sitting right now has a multi-million-dollar sports complex. It's a goddamn high school with maybe 1,000 students max. Maybe 500 or 600.
What, students in the school?
Yeah, there's probably that's way low.
That is. That's
way low.
That's so small.
It doesn't seem like that many though. It's not that big of a school. It's not that big of a school, and it's not that big of a town either. By the way, East Grand Rapids is let me look it up.
Well, somebody pitched somebody into thinking it was going to make a lot of money. I mean, that's how that stuff goes,
Well, they're into it.
Yeah. Well, that helps. That helps, and they're into it because everybody's into it.
Maybe they're a powerhouse school for football.
11,423 is the population of the whole damn city.
It must be a pretty well-to-do city, I guess.
So I'm probably right at 1,000, maybe 2,000 for the high school. I don't doubt it's that much. I'll be honest with you.
No,
high
it's probably not.
When
I lived in Hasbrook Heights is in New Jersey, in one of the most densely populated areas in New Jersey, but it's only a little over a mile square.
Right.
It had, depending on the year, anywhere between 11,000 and 15,000 in that square mile, which is actually a lot for a square mile. Our high school had about 600 kids.
Mm-hmm.
No, we had more. It went down to 600, 7 or 8, something like that. So you're right. You're right in the ballpark there. Because they were talking, it was getting to the point where they were talking about combining with the next town over. And they didn't do it though.
874.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually high. 874 kids go to East Grand Rapids High School.
Well, that pretty close to matches up what I was just saying about my town.
No, I was just saying I was 1,000. I was actually giving them credit.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Yeah. So 874, but they spent millions of dollars on a damn football field. But they need federal money, right? Okay, sure.
Did somebody donate a shit ton of money?
Congratulations.
Some of it was donated, of course.
I got my new 3D.
Oh, Lloyd got his printer. What kind of printer did he buy? I don't think he bought a bamboo. I think he bought a Ender or something. I forget though.
No,
Yeah, Lloyd, tell us.
talking about it.
What brand did you get, Lloyd?
Talk to me about it, and I don't remember. I probably didn't care.
There, tell him, Joe America. Tell him Mandeville. Well, how many kids go to Mandeville High School? What, $1,000, 1,100 or 1,200 max? Maybe $900.
Sports training center. Yeah,
it's insane.
You know, and where's this money coming from?
Some of it's donors. Don't get me wrong. Some of it's donors. Some of it's
mostly.
But a lot of it's taxes and shit, though. It really is. A lot of it's federal grants and yada yada yada. It's like our kids can't read.
Donated $4 or $5 million. You don't know.
Yeah, our kids can't fucking read or do math. They can't do basic math in their heads. But guess what? They got an $8 million sports stadium, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm all in on this canceling it. You know me, I'm a libertarian. You can keep on going down the list of departments to eliminate as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
They keep on going. They keep on trucking, baby.
They just named another one. They were talking about getting rid of.
I wish they'd get rid of the Federal Reserve. That's another one they need to get rid of.
They've actually talked about that too.
Yeah, Federal Reserve.
Not Trump.
You know.
Any cubic Cobra S1.
Wow, where did you find that? I never even heard of that. That's pretty interesting. It's a Cobra S1.
Congratulations.
Any cubic Cobra S1 with 4-color.
AMS. Wow. Yeah. He wasn't effing around.
Yeah.
Well, that set you back, Lloyd.
Dices and made Julian fries.
Yeah, no kidding. The Ronco freaking
Vegimatic.
No, the Ronco 3D printer. If he was still around, he probably would have started out. He probably would have. He'd have been the first one to come out with a 3D printer, probably. Oh, Ronco. Like half of the P1S. So like $500 or $400 or something like that. That's pretty interesting. As a built-in filament dryer. Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Everybody should have
interesting.
Filament dryer.
Interesting.
Bill could use a filament dryer.
Just through the chat. Somebody said something about getting a new car. I was going to congratulate him, but I can't.
It's a toy car, by the way. They're talking about RC cars. They're talking about RC cars. Yeah, I'm sure some of the funding is from ad sponsors and ticket sales and stuff like that. I don't doubt that, Joe, but I don't believe. I've been to a lot of high school games, my friend, and I find it hard to believe that they mustered up $8 million from those $3, $4 pop a ticket, for high school football games, and from t-shirt sales and the concession stand and shit, in a town of like 20,000 people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds a little like, Cobra S1. We'll see how it ends up.
$700.
My high school got a new weight room.
Ooh, weight room, huh? Probably got a barbell, some weights, maybe a bench.
They really went full out with the bench press and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there, it was like a teeny tiny room that had barbells and all that shit. Now it's a big ass room where the football team and the wrestlers could go in and work out, and we still have our pool though, which was cool.
I got it wrong. I thought the weight room was the bedroom. Hey honey, wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm done.
Okay.
Come in, hon.
Thank you.
So,
What do you
Anyway,
want? You want
Bill, I got
gold?
bad news for you, buddy.
Now what?
I'm not 100%, but we might not be able to go to the range on Monday. Me and Billy might not be able to. We got a job in Miami, so I'm not sure when we have to be there, though. So I had to change my ticket from Monday leaving to Tuesday leaving. So
No, just let me know. You know, they're not even
Yeah.
they're advertising events. They're not even mentioning it. So I could just tell them to do that, but I don't know. We go. We don't. You know. So it wasn't.
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly. It was kind of on the cuff anyway,
It
right?
wasn't going to be a big thing. You know.
No, it was just something we were just all going to do. So I agree with that.
That's too bad.
Well, it's not. It's going to pay for my trip. Pay for my whole trip.
No, not your job. Too bad. I mean, that's fine.
Oh yeah.
No,
we can't. Well, you know what? I'll come down. I'll just come back from the. I thought about that. You just once Lloyd leaves, I'll just take over his room for 2 days. I got 6 weeks of vacation now. After my promotion, I get 6 weeks of vacation annually.
Oh, nice.
I know. That's what I said. I took like 5 days last year total of vacation.
Wow.
I'm like, now I got 6 weeks. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do with 6 weeks of vacation time.
They'll figure something out.
I was gonna say I could, because Billy's got to leave town. He'll drop me back off in the Cyber Beast, and I'll just hang out at your house and eat Filipino food for 3 more days, and then fly back to G-Rap. I don't want to sleep in the bed Lloyd slept in. I don't want to catch anything.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Get that cat scratch fever.
That's my bed.
Or you might catch MS, man.
I'm sleeping on the couch.
That's
It's got a plastic
MS,
cover
right?
on it now for some reason.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right, Joe. It just sounds really far-fetched. That's all. You know, the amount of you mentioned like maybe $10 to $12 million they spent between everything you mentioned, and it just sounds that's a lot of loot.
John's not going to make it to the gun range either. He says.
Yeah. Well, Don's not going. Period. So it doesn't make any mistake.
He's not lying.
He's not lying. I'm not making it to the gun range tomorrow. I'm also not going to make it to the festival in the Philippines, in Manila next week.
Mike.
There you go.
Philippines and Manila. What?
I'm naming all the places I'm not going to be, which is basically everywhere.
Do you have a passport?
No, I've never needed one. I got an enhanced license, but I don't have a passport. I know. I should get on it because Billy wants to go to.
You can go to Canada with that enhanced license.
In the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands, and Dominican Republic, and shit like that.
You got time to kill?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I will get my passport and then I'll go to Germany. I've been to Germany in a couple of decades.
Well, it takes a minute to get your passport, though.
Yeah.
I know.
You know.
Yeah, like a month or so, right? Month or two?
Oh, sometimes longer. Like 6 to 8 weeks or something.
Well, it's 6 to 8 weeks here.
Yeah.
That's 2 months, right? 8 weeks is 2
There's a
months.
way to expedite it for extra money.
Yeah.
You can
if it's some kind of major emergency, I don't know what that would be.
So
what's going on is, you know, they're way more meticulous than they used to be, you know, in issuing things. That's why our licenses are the way. I don't have yours, but I've got, you know, the rest of the country had to go up to the
Real ID. Yeah.
Real ID, which I have. So, and that was a pain in the ass, you know, especially with my wife, you know, showing a Philippine birth certificate, but we've got to bring that. I show the I-9. You got to show the address that you've been living here, but it was just a lot, considering I had a license in the state already for years. You know, but anyway,
it's annoying.
How long to get?
You want to get on a plane, though, baby?
I don't have a passport either. I've been thinking about getting one.
Oh,
well, once you get it, you got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got
4 to 6 weeks plus 2 weeks mailing time for a total of 6 to 8 weeks.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, expedited service takes 2 to 3 weeks plus mailing time. So 2 to 3 weeks plus mailing time and costs an extra $60.
Oh, that's not that bad.
No,
How much is
it'd be worth it if you were planning on getting on a plane or a boat or something, and you'd be running
No,
out of
it'd be
time.
worth it just so you're not waiting 2 months.
Mhm.
It might be $60. How much is the passport period? $200 or whatever?
How
Does
much
it
is
say?
it?
Yeah, I thought it might say period.
$80, $90 last time I got mine.
Jesus, that's cheap. $400
Wow.
here.
400.
year?
Yeah, but those are Australian dollars. So what's that like
Yeah.
23.50?
Yeah,
That's like
Australian dollars, yeah.
23.50.
So probably
How
about
long is a
300
passport
American.
good for? Like at least 5 years, right? Or is it 10?
It's something like that.
Well, it's 10
10
years over
years.
here.
But you just said it's 400 a year.
10 here.
He said over here.
Didn't you
There's
say per
400
year,
over here.
Dominic?
Like crikey.
Over
Over here.
here.
Crikey.
No.
That's what he said.
Didn't you say per year?
He said over here.
No, it's 400. But that works out at $40 a year then. Hello, Chris.
It
Hey,
works out to
good to see you,
$400.
Chrissy Cakes.
Yeah, good to have you. Here's something I found out, Bill. Did you know if you, like a Philippine citizen, if they trace their genealogy back to Europe, they could get dual citizenship.
Woo.
I'm sorry, I didn't listen to any of that. What were you saying?
What a dick.
Who can get dual citizenship? I heard the last part.
Filipinos.
Filipino citizen,
Yeah, sure.
if they have any genealogy back to Europe, they could become a citizen of that country. Say your wife, they find out she's got ancestry back in Spain or France, whatever.
I don't know that all countries do that. There are countries that require that you have living relatives, and they got to be within so many generations.
Well,
Ireland is one of them. I looked into that, and to get into
Well,
Ireland, it's not.
I've got a living relative in Italy. I've got a living relative in Italy. I've got an auntie.
Yeah, I forget what
who lives over
I'll
there.
have to look it up someday again. But when I saw it, I was like, wow. Yeah, I mean, because there's Ronayans over there, that are related to me. But I mean, how distant can they? Because generations have passed, and if the older ones are dead, they're close to my age or dying. But anyway, it was a was it a grandfather within or so? I forget what it was, but it was to even get in, even to even try to get in. And people complain about us, we make them prove that they're not a threat or a danger. And if they're not, okay, come on in. Shit. You got a clean bill of health. Okay, why do you want to move here? Well, mudslide buried my village. Okay, that's a good reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
Why don't you just grab a shovel?
Yeah. Look at all the work you just walked away from.
my great grandfather, John Carlson, he came over in 1880. He already had a job lined up over here in Chicago. He was a blacksmith, and he worked at a foundry.
That's pretty interesting, considering my grandparents on both sides were blacksmiths when they came over here. They had their own blacksmith shops when they came over.
Yeah.
They didn't know each other, just the Irish side and the Italian side. Actually, great grandfather on the Italian side. Around the turn of this early on in this last century, because my grandfather was born in New York in 1917. So his father, of course, was born in Italy, but his father was the blacksmith. And then Irish side, same thing. In fact, my grandmother told me she told me about that. She said, that's because that's how we got work right through the Depression, because he got work. The blacksmith shop closed, like everything else during the Depression. But he got a job working for the New York City Police Department because they used horses.
Okay.
So Billy, always have a trade. It's like, okay. You know, that's a pretty good example of one.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people today. You know, all these stupid basket weaving degrees you're getting and shit, dude. The trade, you'll always find work if you have a trade. Period.
Right.
Period.
Yep.
I can work anywhere in this country right now. I could literally get on my computer and find a job anywhere in the country right now.
There you go.
But sage advice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our
Very
history of
sage
the country.
advice.
So I'm only my family's only been here. The Irish side was here first, I think. Like maybe around the turn of that century. So what? 125 years we've been here.
So Dominic, what was your grandpa arrested for?
If not a little longer, 130.
No, they came here on the boat. Only one my father was the first generation Australian. He came he came from Dalianova in Calabria in 1949.
In
On a boat.
Calabria.
He went to
That's where they make pens.
Yeah,
That's where they
Calabria.
make pens.
No, he came over. He came over to Western Australia and then moved his way to Melbourne in 1951.
You're still a little pup back
He was
then.
an auto mechanic.
You're just a little kid back then, huh?
Yeah.
Mark made
He was a auto mechanic.
Mark made a joke about Mexico. Apparently, you're not supposed to need a passport to get into Mexico. LOL. Oh no, that's out of Mexico. But now, which is a cute joke. But it's funny. I mean, 1981, I went to Mexico.
Yeah.
Barely crossed the border, no Nogales. Did that charge. You didn't need a passport.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, back in the day, you didn't need a passport. In fact, they didn't even check my ID. American, yeah, okay.
What do you mean, going into Mexico?
Yeah.
I used to go into Mexico all the time. Nobody ever. I got into Mexico by accident a couple times when I was stationed in El Paso. I ended up in Mexico by mistake. I got in my car and I'm driving around, probably drinking and driving, quite frankly. And I'm driving around and I'm like, where the hell am I? And I happen to see a gas station. I forget what the Mexican gas stations are called. I can't remember. And I pull up, I go, holy. Yeah, so when I pull up, I go, fuck. And I had to get directions from the guy. And he actually spoke halfway decent English, which was lucky for me. And I ended up finding a border crossing that like literally two guys were standing there. It was like it was basically a fence opening, basically. And I got across and I made it just in time to formation. I was still half in the bag. I was standing there in my civvies.
You deserted to Mexico. I mean, all kinds of shit going on.
I barely made it. It was hilarious. I barely made it. And then my squad leader was like, okay, go get your fucking uniform and get back down there.
Well, Bill, it was the same thing going to Canada from Michigan. All you had to do is show a driver's license. That's it. Going to Canada, go to Windsor and have some.
It's sad to say I haven't been there.
Church. Yeah.
And now I'm sure I'd have to get a passport.
I don't know what you have to do in Florida. I don't know if you can get an enhanced license in Florida. I don't know how that works. In Michigan, you can get an enhanced license.
I've had this other one, like right from the beginning. They're an early adopter of that.
Real ID.
Real ID. But they haven't gone to the I don't know. I guess it costs money. Do you know what they're talking about? What the governor has brought up? What he wants to do? Eliminate property tax for your residents.
Wow!
I swear to God.
Good idea.
Now, I don't like taxes, but I understand the necessity of it, and I'm asking myself, okay, then how are you paying for schools? You're going to raise the sales tax?
I don't know where the money's going to come.
The money's got to come from somewhere.
He's got a plan, apparently. Now, don't forget, Now your taxes are coming to ad valorem and non-ad valorem. I'll still have a my non-ad valorem is an add-on
Yeah.
to for my trash and wastewater, blah blah blah. Which means, in fact, they for the first time in probably 3 years, they finally came out again and redid my culvert. At the down by the road, it had completely grown in. It was always kind of raggedy. I mean, for a while, but then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. There was an incredible growth, and it just filled the fucker. So anyway, I was going to take care of that, but I'm glad I didn't. Because once every so many years, they come around, they do the whole neighborhood, and they just paved my road. It's looking sharp out there. My tax dollars at work, yeah.
Well, what happened was you did your driveway and you inspired them.
Well, here's the thing too. Down at the end of the driveway, there's a spot where there was a little crack developed, and a piece maybe about that, like that, and about that much, just right at the edge where it goes to the road. And they had used some shitty. What they did was to meet the road, because they put a footer in, and then they got to fill it back in, and then they got to meet the road. They used that quick asphalt crap that you could buy, pothole filler stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just warm it up and you just tamp it down. It doesn't last, and it didn't protect that, and that's what happened. But they filled when they came in, they dug down right to where the footer level, and they just retopped it, and very cool, it's gone, because the road actually comes over the lip of the driveway just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I know this is boring shit, but that made me happy.
No.
I was going to patch that, but it's never the same color. You'll see it forever. They got really strong concrete patches for that.
Right.
So when they covered it up, I was like, yeah.
No, that's nice, man.
Nah, sometimes taxes are okay, but this all came up because I don't know. That's a lot of effing money. Where's that coming from?
I didn't hear the ding
God,
dong. Ding dong.
Ding dong. Ding dong.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Don.
You hit him on the private chat, Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought we
Well,
wanted
you
to
like
find a way.
coming in the last 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah, you love coming in
What
the
makes
last
you think
10
I came in at the last 10 minutes?
No.
That's a good
He
point.
came in the last 10 minutes?
No, that's not what he meant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What makes you think he's going to stay the whole 10 minutes? He's threatening
No.
us.
No, I've been
Oh.
here for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Federal taxes was snuck into the zeitgeist, man. Federal taxes is not even supposed to be possible. Federal income tax isn't even supposed to be possible, and they managed to slide it in. This is shady as F. It's shady as F. Watch I can give you a link for the Libertarian did a big video about how federal taxes were first.
Wilson, and it was only a tax on people that made at first that made X amount. It was really high, like $1 million.
Right.
It was just a very limited number of people to help finance the war, I guess, whatever the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
The war. And they almost made it sound like it was going to be temporary, but then it grew from there, and it grew from there. Of course.
No, it was supposed to be temporary. It was bullshit, and they snuck
No,
it in. It's
temporary means?
unconstitutional.
Temporary
Federal
means
income
this.
tax is unconstitutional.
When they
Period.
say it's temporary, that means it's 10% this year, but it's only temporary because next year it's 12%. The 10%.
Right. It was only temporarily 10%. Yeah.
Right.
No.
Yeah. No, Pennsylvania did that, and this is back in the day. But the taxes were only 2%, state income tax. But they had to raise it to 2.6 something,
Don
5
dropped the
1 year.
newborn.
And was governor, was it Casey? No, it was the Guinea that was the governor after him. The hell was his name? Anyway, that's what he promised. We're going to have to do this to balance the budget this year, but it's only temporary. And he's right, because it went up to like 3% the following year.
No, it's bullshit. But federal income tax is unconstitutional. There's no provision for it in the articles of whatever.
You're right. You're right.
Whoa.
It's only been a thing for like 120 years.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's ever going to take it away
13.
because they're cutting their own throats if they did. So no one's going to. It's just like term limits. Everybody dreams about term limits. Who the hell's going to vote for that? Who the hell's going to vote for that? You know,
It depends what the bill, because they'll probably have a better golden parachute and a better retirement plan. You get
yeah.
you get to spend 2 terms and you get money for the rest of your life for doing nothing.
Yeah, there's people that used to get out of paying taxes over the fact that it's illegal. There was quite the movement when it first became a thing to get out of paying federal income tax, and there was a way to get out of it, and then they closed all those loopholes. Well, yeah, exactly. They closed all those loopholes, and now we're pretty much stuck.
Yeah, I know somebody who pulled that too. He didn't think any taxes were constitutional. He didn't pay any of them. And this guy did a good job. He was an engineer, made good money. He was a Fruit Loop. He's like a conspiratorialist kind of guy.
Are you talking about going back to the original Constitution? Because if you're talking about the Constitution as it is today, they are constitutional. The 16th Amendment.
Well, I didn't do this.
Which amendment? Which amendment was that?
I didn't believe they
the 16th
had the
Amendment
right.
allows Congress to levy taxes on the population.
Yeah.
Like I said, they closed the loophole.
And eventually, this guy had this beautiful house, big. They took it, lost his house. Mm-hmm. He's the one. He was married to a Filipino. It's how I know that.
Oh wow!
And he's like 6'2" at least, and thin and white as a ghost, right? So he goes with his 5 foot tall, dark Filipino from Mindanao wife, and they go to the Philippines and go to Mindanao. So what happens to him? What do you think?
He went to the pen.
Okay, he was very tall, extremely white, clearly American. What do you think happened to him? He got kidnapped. They scooped him up. It's a very common way to make money. Held him for a while. Eventually, I think through ties in her family, they figured out he didn't have any money, and they let him go. Thank God for him, right? But he's going to the Philippines because and his conspiratorial reasons for wanting to go there had to do with taxation and misrepresentation. And I'm paying for schools that I don't have any kids going to, and whatever. You know what I mean? I'm going to the Philippines, and he was there for like a month, and he got scooped up.
I'm a huge favor of getting rid of the income tax.
He came back, by the way.
Because the federal government, they use taxes as a way to control the populace, not to actually fund itself.
Right.
They print more money.
And not to benefit the populace either.
Right.
No, just themselves.
And
no, it's control. It's a control mechanism.
Yeah. It's to make you save taxes if you do this action. You pay more taxes if you do this action. It's
And the worst part of the education department was they use it as a stick to control. They want all the schools to do this or that. Oh, you don't want to do it? Well, guess what? And no offense to the Trump people here, but Donald Trump is doing the same thing. What's that? You're not going to follow the no men and women sports thing? Well, guess what? You're not going to get any federal money anymore. But the problem is they should have never been getting federal money in the first place.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been getting federal funds in the first place.
Right.
I'm a fan
that's
of
the problem.
Taxes. If you have to tax, do a consumption tax.
Fair tax or flat tax, one of the two.
Yeah, that's what printing the money does anyway. It's a consumption tax. It basically taxes everybody equally because your dollar loses its value.
Yeah, what's annoying is that why bother even taxing us? Why bother taxing us? They can just print as much money as they want anyway.
Controlling you to do certain actions.
That's right. That's the hidden tax that nobody talks about. When they gave out all that effing money through COVID.
Well, it's not just that.
I scooped it up when they sent it to me.
It's not. That's not really just. That's not it. All of it. I mean.
No, but that's a big giant example of it.
Yeah, anytime they increase the monetary supply, they are devaluing the dollar that's in your pocket.
Well, exactly.
And when they took away the reserve lending, when they basically dropped reserve lending down to zero, that meant banks could loan as much as they wanted to. They didn't have to keep cash on hand to make those loans. And we're going to hit a bubble too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We ha-
eventually it's all going to go to shit.
Really soon, we're going
You
to have another 2008 housing bubble.
Right.
We have another one right now, where investors are coming in and basically raping companies and stealing all their value and letting the companies go bankrupt. But these loans that they take out to buy these companies, they don't follow the person who is buying the company.
They follow LLC.
It gets attached to the company that they're buying. So it's like,
Oh,
saying,
I see what you mean.
hey, I'm gonna take out loan on this car, and then you drive it home and you start stripping it for parts and stuff and selling off the parts to make cash. Then you default on the loan. They come and they say, well, there's your car, take it. They're going to come after you, but no.
And there's no penalty.
The loan is attached
to you.
to the car or to the asset, which is the company, and it basically disappears, goes into somebody's pocket, and we're getting ready to hit a big bubble on that.
Yeah, well, you're not taking out the loan as an individual, so that's why you're taking the loan out as a corporation or a whatever acquisition group or whatever you are. So yeah, it's all just very sneaky. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's just
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if within the next 1 or 2 years that bubble hits. Trump will get all the blame unless he takes any steps to bring this under control. But they've been doing this since the 70s.
Oh yeah.
But I think it was Clinton relaxed the regulation on it, and Obama.
It's interesting. I mean, you said unless Trump does something about it, it might be advantageous to have one of the biggest realtors in the United States be the president of the United States right now, because if anybody's going to understand a housing bubble, it'd be him and the people around him.
This isn't going to be housing, though.
The people
around him.
It's
not housing this time.
Huh?
This
is not housing.
This is private equity.
Yep.
I can't. You guys are talking over each other.
This is private equity. It's not housing. It's private equity firms. They're coming in, buying up companies, ripping them to pieces, and devaluing them, and then letting them crash.
It's the Romney plan. What was that company he used to work for?
Oh,
I can't think of the name of it right now.
But yeah, that was exactly it.
Yeah, they buy companies. Bleed them dry, and then they default on the loan.
You see a lot of companies that are going under right now. We just had a Joann's closing.
That's the oldest thing in the book, by the way.
They're closing them down all over the country. A lot of these large chains are not like the Walmarts, but the other, like the larger retail chains like Joann's and stuff like that, are starting to buckle.
Yeah. That's competition, though. They can't compete with like Amazon or whatever, right?
That's part of it. The other part, but part of it is that the companies being, because Amazon, they can't compete with Amazon because a lot of people who will go buy fabrics, let's say at Joann's, you want to look, you want to touch the fabric, and it's there. And so you do have a little built-in safety.
Yeah, but who does that anymore, though? That's the other part of this.
A lot of people.
Who the hell's I mean, I'm not saying some people don't do it. I'm saying it's not like 30 years ago. Well, hell, I had aunts and stuff that went into Joann's fabrics and stuff. I know exactly what you're talking about. A lot of people would go into fabric stores and make their own dresses and whatnot. Who the hell does that anymore?
Most of my pants when I was a kid said Acme flour on them. So
my grandmother was a seamstress. Actually, she had a big old Singer, one of those tabletop things with a metal, like you'd see in the old timey factories.
Did she sew your new blue jeans? Was your daddy a gambling man down in New Orleans?
She actually did sew my blue jeans once. You say that, and Daddy wasn't a gambler. No, he was a drunk. But,
right. Well, on that note, I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming, and hope you all had a great time. Don't forget Bill's show tomorrow night. Go check that out, and Lloyd's show on Monday. You all have a great weekend. Take care, and God bless. Good night, all. Oh, I gotta make him big. Wait. Back it up. Make
No,
it big.
we're still